What's going on, Buffalo? This is Bill's Latest. I am Michael Korn. We are brought to you by FanArc, and we are starting to get a little bit more of a clearer picture of what's going to happen in the playoffs. Big Sunday night game, Steelers and the Ravens. Don't know if I had to bet. I think they would rather have Lamar in. I would have to bet on the Ravens. But let's assume Pittsburgh wins. Pittsburgh wins. They'll be the 4th seed. They'll play Houston. We would be the 7th seed playing the Patriots in New England. Good old Foxborough. Don't hate it. It's going to be fresh in the Patriots' mind what just happened when we were there. Drake May is going to have to prove it. That's one pretty much rookie quarterback to the playoffs that Josh will have to go through. I don't hate it. Let's continue down this hypothetical scenario. They win. They'll play either the Chargers or the Jaguars. I'd assume it's... Man, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. Better coach with the Chargers. I think Lawrence is balling right now. Either way, all right, let's go Jaguars. Don't care. Bills fans travel to Florida. I think if it was in Los Angeles, you'd still have a good amount of Bills fans, but not as many as you would in Jacksonville. But again, now it would be either going through Herbert or Lawrence. I'm taking Josh Allen. And then it comes down to whatever happens with, again, let's say the Steelers get in. It'd be Steelers, Texans. Texans probably win that game, and then they would end up playing Denver. That would be wild. The road to the Super Bowl is, don't get me wrong, all these teams are great, but they don't have Josh Allen. And I am liking the way that looks heading into the playoffs. And if we can keep this defense rolling through the playoffs, they dominated, absolutely dominated that second half against Philly. Again, that was the only game this year that defense could have said to the offense, where's our help? Because other than that, you have not had any sort of help. Or, have been any sort of help. But man, this defense is peaking at the right time. Will they continue that? Still getting turnovers, but even more so, they stuffed the run against Philly. And that has been the weakest part of this defense. And man, did they show up and show out. If they can keep that trending going into the postseason, I don't care if you're on the road, at home. I'm hearing a lot of only 11 wild card teams have ever made the Super Bowl. Okay. That's still under 60 Super Bowls. They're acting like it's impossible. It isn't like it used to be. The field is a lot deeper nowadays, where these wildcard teams are a lot better than the old wildcard teams. The only wildcard team that, if they get in as far as like the AFC, would be like the Ravens or the Steelers. And they're not even wildcard. They're just a shit team that plays in a shit division, and somebody's got to win that division. There just really isn't many bad teams. That's why everybody loves the NFL, because at the beginning of every year, pretty much every team kind of has a shot. You can't say that in baseball or hockey or basketball. You just can't. You just can't. But I just think if this defense is still clicking the way they were clicking against Philly, They will be a tough out. Especially then, you continue just pounding the ball the way we've been running the ball all over every team. Doesn't matter what team. Again, I just mentioned them. We defeated the Steelers so bad in Pittsburgh. One of the worst jobs their defense has ever done against the run. And they came out that following Monday just, I can't believe they ran the same play over and over. That's so defeating. That's the kind of run game we have. That is our identity on offense. And when we're running it and doing all that good stuff, our defense is getting a bit of rest. They come out flying. They're not completely spent from 3 and outs and having to go right back out on the field. So if Cook, Davis, Johnson, if all these guys can just get the ball moving, and I don't want to see Allen at all this week, but if we do see him, I don't want to see him running at all. But come playoff time, he's a threat. He is a running threat. That's when you take any sort of floaty off, any safety device off of them and say, go do whatever you have to do, because now we are here for what it is all about. So if they're running the ball, it just opens up the entire field. The entire field. And at times we've gotten away from it, and then we get back to it in the second half, and we've been one of the best second half teams in the country. That is, know what you are, know who you are, and when you are. Just be the run game. Be the run game. And then if we can somehow just manage to work, I would love to see all 3 tight ends come postseason. Run them out there. I don't care. They are better than our wide receivers. Cooks has earned a little ball his way every once in a while. The deep ball was nice and refreshing to see that that's at least a threat. So I would keep Cooks out there, even if he doesn't even get a ball thrown his way. Just make him just run up and down the field, just so they have to think about it, and then just feed. Kincaid, Knox, Haas, feed all 3 of them, because they are all mismatches when they get out on that field. If you could somehow just, do we got more? Can we bring up 2 more tight ends for the playoffs, just so we can work a nice 5-man rotation so they don't get too tired? Because, man, we can find a tight end. And those guys will be mismatches all day long. All day long. Especially if you have just somebody eating up coverage like a Shakir, Cooks, Gabe Davis. We won't see Coleman. For those of you wondering, thinking you're going to see Coleman, you're not going to see him again. Not going to see him again. If you do not have any sort of production and you are a distraction to the team, this is professional football. This is your second year. We'll be seeing you. The offense has not missed a beat since you've been out. Josh trusts Gabe Davis, his tight ends, Shakir, and it looks like Cooks now. There's only so many places that ball is going to get thrown. So for those of you wondering, when are we going to see Keon Coleman? I wouldn't expect to see him at all. That ship has sailed. And that's where I gave McDermott tons of props, because that's when he got that locker room back. He let everybody know, pay attention to the details or we aren't going to win shit. And yeah, it sucks that he was the one that had to be made an example out of, but he kind of did it to himself. So again, run all 3 tight ends out there in a few packages come playoff time, because they will be open. And if they're not open, 8 times out of 10, they're bigger than the guy guarding them, and Josh can throw them open. But that's been it for today's Bills Latest, folks. We will be back with more. This is our, last week. Yep. Then it's playoff time. But Let's go, Buffalo. We'll be back again tomorrow with more good stuff. Again, we were brought to you by FanArc. Thanks again so much, and we will see you tomorrow.